I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I love this music so much. It makes everything so happy on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Especially after the news we had earlier today. We need this upliftingness. Hey guys, welcome back to the family reunion, part 2 of season 1 after show. I'm your host, Chae Jones, and I'm so happy to be back with you guys after our mini break from part 1. And I am here with Miss Regina Coles to my left. She's an amazing host here at AfterBuzz TV, and she also knows some of the writers and the creator of Film Reunion. How are you feeling?
Feeling good, but I think we need to let everybody know why you were saying the news we had today, so they won't be like, what news is she talking about? So
In LA today, it's a little
around
around the world too. Tragically, I think, but I feel like we especially feel it today, especially because it's also the Grammys. Kobe Bryant, and not only just Kobe Bryant, 9 people lost their lives today, and also his daughter with him. So I think that's just hitting everybody a little hard.
Totally tragic.
But today we're talking about episode 4, part 2. Remember when Jade was down with the Swirl. Now, first of all, that is a title. That is a title that I'm living my life for. So Jade brings her new chemistry partner over. His name's Cody. He's very attractive. I was down for it with their little corny chemistry jokes. I mean, granted, I understood them, which I think for me was funny because I didn't think I would understand them, but I actually did. So I'm like, school works.
Oh, okay.
I remember things from
so
school.
that brings back memories for you.
It brings back the fact that I actually understood what the jokes were, like in terms of, this is a chemistry term for a certain thing, but I actually understood what the chemistry term meant. Like I knew what they're like the reason he was saying potassium, and I was just like, that makes a lot. I never would have thought of it like that. Like nobody made it a game-ish, and to turn into some corny like a chemistry joke. Yeah. Like when I was in school, I thought that was very clever, and it made me want to like actually remember it more a little bit now because of the jokes they're using on the show.
Because she told her mom later in the segment about like, oh, never mind, you wouldn't understand. It's like ammonia with bleach.
Sodium chloride. Like, what do you call like sodium chloride? And she's like salt, because basically. That's what it is. It's a corny joke, but mom's gonna roll with it because she's happy to see her daughter happy. However, after Cody's introduced to both Madeir and Moz, they bring it to Jay's attention that obviously he's white.
Really? The elephant in the room.
The white elephant, she said, which is really funny.
Madeir didn't mince her words. She never does.
At all. She didn't mince any type of words. And Jade takes it very offensively in that view. But granted, because they are in the South, it's not exactly something I wasn't expecting. It's still actually a big deal for some people in the South for some reason.
They're still buried in the times of the Civil War in some respects. I hate to say it.
And the fact that they forgot that slavery ended about 55 years ago. It ended. But cool. You want to say they're cool about your life. But she even ends up calling them racist for that, having that view, even though they weren't so much being racist as they're trying to, I want to say, warn her a little bit about that this is what people still think. And she learns that obviously when she gets to school. Granted, her friend Genevieve looks amazing, and she's British. She's attending an American school. She had to take a citizenship exam to be a citizen of America. And granted, she doesn't see anything wrong with it. But then you have other people like Michaela, who are with the Black is Power, Black movement. Yeah. And she makes Jade feel super bad about her feelings for another human being who isn't Black.
But I think when you come across these type of things, the foundation starts at home.
True.
It starts at home. And so I understood where Madeir was coming from, and I understood where Coco was coming from, and Jade. You've got 3 different generations there.
Definitely. And one of them actually is a product of an interracial couple.
Yeah. Who also lived in Seattle, Washington, where it's a whole totally different climate there. You have a lot of interracial families there. And then you go across country to the deep South in Georgia, where people still believe in like Ku Klux Klan and all that kind of stuff. So I understand where Madea was coming from, old school, like where that was totally taboo. But if you still go to the South to this day, you'll see that the difference from being in the South and being up north or somewhere like Seattle, they still hold on to their old, a lot of those past beliefs about, you know, slavery and the whole 9 yards and interracial dating, marriages. And actually, we can see that kind of thing happening in the country right now.
I mean, true, and Michaela makes Jade feel bad, like saying that, oh, like, you're down with the swirl of the ice cream instead of, like, you might not want chocolate or vanilla. And in my mind, you already think I'm not black enough because my skin's light. And that's a whole different kind of conversation because, especially within the black community, if you're lighter, somehow you're not as black as a darker skinned black woman. Yeah. And I think that that's something also we need to work on within our own community. Because it's not just other people. Let's be real. This is our own community doing this to ourselves.
And it's been embedded since slavery. Yeah. It really has.
That is true. Yeah. Because if you were lighter skinned during slavery, you were in the house. You
mulatto.
You're in the house. You were hopefully somebody maybe taught you how to read. And if you were darker skinned, you were working in the fields.
Yeah, picking cotton. God knows what else, but. Let's face it, it wasn't an easy time period, thank God. I mean, it is 2020, but we still, when you look at things, we still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, definitely. And Jade, because of all these different, I want to say negative influence, instead of just listening to her heart, she turns Cody down. And they end up going to the fire, and she goes to the fire and ice dance, and she feels bad about letting, you know, the outside influences make her miss out on a great dance that would have been even better if she would have went with the person she wanted to go with. So Coco talks her into a big gesture at the dance. Yeah. I mean, granted, I understood the Say Anything reference, even though I wasn't alive during Say Anything reference. But you're talking to a under 18-year-old who's probably never seen Say Anything and doesn't know what a boombox is. Or even a rotary phone.
Well, she said she didn't.
No, she was just like, what about the boom? Does it go boom? Like, I mean, granted, that's just education. Like, I need you to watch more movies. I need you to really get into that. But so she goes into she interrupts the dance. She apologizes to Cody. And she, in my mind, I thought it was going to go like, oh yeah, he was going to, you know, they're actually going to be able to have their dance together. But Cody got a new chick.
And I like the way whoever wrote this played it. Where she was Asian.
I love that too. I like the fact that for him, he doesn't see. Right. I think that was also the point. It's not about seeing race. It's just about actually, I liked you and you turned me down. Okay. Yeah.
Seeing a person for who they are as a human being, and not looking at the racial aspect, the color of your skins, or the shape of your eyes, or whatever people have with different stereotypes. But really delving deep. Maybe not so deep as a high school student, but still giving them kudos, and Jay too, for seeing that this is a person that I like and that I have something in common with as a human being, as opposed to, listening to what Madea had to say and even her dad. Yeah. And these old stereotypes. And I think nowadays parents are raising their kids to be more open and more accepting.
Definitely. I mean, we've seen Jade from the first part of the season where she was interested in that boy at the restaurant. He's white, but then when she came to Georgia, she met Drew, and then she met Kurt. And for her, I don't think she ever even saw the color. I don't think that even registered to her.
It's like it was
more about the personality.
Flavor of the month.
I mean,
she likes boys. So
she likes boys. I mean, she's a healthy teenage girl. She likes boys.
With the hormones raging, but that's okay.
And then Madea's up to, she is cheering on Mazzi and Moz at the church basketball league championship game. So Mazzi and Moz, like Mazzi is very athletic. We've seen that in the first part when he was in football. So I don't think basketball was going to be any different. But then we meet one of Moses' old enemies, rivalries, enemies, whatever you like to call that.
Adversaries, whatever.
Definitely. Gary and his son, and I'm not gonna lie, they're very good at trash talk, but it also comes with the sport. But I think one of what I loved about this part of the episode was when Moz told Mazzi, a wise person told me, that it's not about what they say, it's how you play shows up. Like, because if you're playing your best, you, let your game
performance or your game,
let your game speak for itself. Because they can talk all they want to, but if your game is always on point, if your game is always tight, and you keep on shooting some scores, it don't matter what they saying, because look at the scoreboard. Yeah, who's gonna win?
Exactly. Yeah. That just makes me sad in a way, you know. But we won't touch on that anymore. But yeah, and so I think he learned a very valuable lesson, and then he was shocked that Medea was who his dad was talking about, gave him that wise advice.
She's like, I was born wise.
Yeah,
cool, because she's literally divine.
And that's the beauty of the show, is that you do see the elder person just displaying that wisdom that's just so needed today or in any family. You know, they've been there, done that, and so they can speak to those things.
It was for me, I think the funny part for me is that obviously we know kind of how sometimes Medea feels about Coco, but when Moz brings to her attention, like he was talking about my wife, which was very out of bounds, mind you, like you never. But she just said, it's not like he was talking about your mama. Because I feel like if he had brought up Medea, she'd have been down for whatever you did.
That's even worse.
Like that's even like somehow my mom was worse than my wife. Which I mean, I get it. It's her mentality. She always holds herself above Coco in that respect. Because I'm the one that gave birth to him. I raised him. I loaned him to you. Well, for your forever.
But a real good mom or mother-in-law, you're always gonna be the mom, though. You know, can kind of cut those strings and give that daughter-in-law the support and respect that she needs or deserves. Hopefully, most guys that really respect their moms, they pretty much marry somebody similar to their moms. It's been my experience. Now, you got some that'll go totally out the gate, you know, and just say, oh, no, I don't want anybody like my mama. And so then it's like when they bring her home, it's like the mother is, did I raise you?
Did I really raise you right is the better question.
Have you lost your mind like Medea?
Like I gotta question that. But anyway, they do win because Medea comes in after Gary's son trips Moz and he rolls his ankle. So she comes in and reminds him that she has game. Yeah. Like the game is still strong and fierce. And I love the entire episode. But we're gonna get into our special segment before we go called Old School versus New School. And obviously in this one, it's obviously about interracial dating. And because it was a big part of this episode, like you were saying earlier, you understood where Medea was coming from because you also in your household you have interracial. I
have in my family we are a rainbow coalition, and it wasn't easy at first. It really wasn't, but you know, you have to let go of those old stereotypes and beliefs. And you have to see the person for who they are. And then when you look back, step back, you really see that that person really loves your child and your child loves that person. And so you see that person as a human being. And I say in my family, we all love each other. And we don't see the color factor. Not anymore.
Not anymore. It used to be this way, but not anymore. I mean, for me, I think I only have one interracial that I can remember, like at least on my dad's side of the family, because I would go to our family reunions, and my auntie's white and my uncle's black, and then the 2 youngest are mixed. You can tell they're mixed. Alex, however, is white as the day, like that wall right there. Yeah. That's how. And in my mind, I even asked him one day because he's white with red hair, green eyes, and I'm just like, Alex, like, what happened, sir? I have questions. I really have questions now because I'd be so confused. But for me, it was never like we never talked about it. It was just something that was normal. And then my godparents, they raised me to just see people. It was never I never cared what race you are. I more cared about how you treated other people.
That's true.
That was just like how I grew up. So and then when I hear other people talk about interracial dating, like it's something bad, I'm just like, why? And
the thing nowadays is that most kids nowadays and young adults, they're not looking at somebody like black or white. It's a lot of, it's like becoming a norm. So, but definitely. You still do. You can go to certain parts of the South, even places here where it's not accepted. So that's a whole different story.
Yeah,
a whole different
if I ever
show.
came across you, I would even turn up just so I could just turn it up in your face. Like, if you don't like it, you ain't got to look.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep it real.
Well.
But that's our episode for episode 4, part 2. Remember when Jade was down with the Swirl? Miss Regina, you want to tell the people where they can find you?
Yes, you can find me at Instagram, Regina Coles, and also on Twitter, Regina Coles.
And you guys can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram, and Disney News Weekly on Popcorn Talk. See you guys later.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.